Boom, guys, as you guys just heard, we just walked with a cash buyer. It seems like this one might be a lot for him, but this is what happens when you negotiate a property sight unseen. We negotiated this house sight unseen. Last time that I came, this thing was still up, and you guys can see that it fell down now. You guys will see the pictures on this video right here. It needs complete renovation, so this property is going to need about 75 to 80. So don't be afraid sometimes when you're talking to homeowners that are highly motivated. This is a pre-foreclosures / probate. They're highly motivated. You haven't seen it yet. The landlord, he said he haven't seen the property for a while because he had like holdover tenants in here. Just put them under contract on a number that you think based on what they told you about the property. Like he told us, hey, you need cosmetic, right? So we put him under contract based on his information that he gave us, and then we came and we saw it with him. But now we have a reason to go back and talk him down because he himself, when he walked in, was like, oh shit, I didn't know they destroyed the property this much. All right, guys, so don't be afraid. Just put it under contract, come and walk it. If it's not as they said, just negotiate it down. It's just a conversation. And you guys just saw me convince a buyer to buy property subject to a cash buyer. So you need to know your stuff. You need to know your shit. If you know your shit, even a buyer that was not willing to buy creative finance deals, you can convince them to do so if you can explain to them properly the mechanics, how they can structure everything in the back end so they can avoid the do and sell. All right, guys, stay tuned for this one. We're gonna definitely 100% going to wholesale this. We're shooting to make how much, Steve?
Yeah, we're shooting to make at least 40 to 50 grand.
At least 40 to 50 grand on this one without even flushing the toilet. Boom.
Be able to call the no, you know. It's like one of those things where like when it's good, but when it's bad, it's probably gonna.
Oh, it's the comfort level.
Yeah, exactly. I'd just rather buy it, you know.
Bro, I would. What was the loan? Was it a FHA?
Yeah, it was FHA.
I have a dozen of those. Only once Wells Fargo called the note on me, and that was because the seller tried to get money from me after closing. So he passed away, and his wife, when I bought it, they were married. Then they got married after we closed. Then she called me, she's like, hey, I remember you bought my husband's house subject to. If you can give me $5,000, if not, I'm gonna go to Wells Fargo and tell Wells Fargo you bought it subject to. Bro, Wells Fargo, they literally called me. She went in, blocked all his accounts. They called me, they're like, send us your, all the closing docs. I sent them the closing documents. My payments is on up to date. It's been 2 years. I've never heard back from Wells Fargo. So, and then when you walk in with equity, bro, even if somebody wanted to, even if the bank, let's say hypothetically want to call the due on sale, you can fight it. That's number one. Number two, you and I both know, what do the bank want? Just keep making the payments, right? They really don't give a damn. It's only if you screw up on the insurance, that's guaranteed to trigger the due on sale. So what you should do, instead of removing what people will do with amateurs, they will remove the owner from the insurance instead of adding themselves as a second insured, which what you should do. So before you close, we give you all the paperwork, like you have a power of attorney, you can go in and add yourself as a second insured on the home, and then that's it, right? You cannot cancel, obviously, because they have the loan. But even when you walk in with equity, bro, you can refinance, because even if the lender goes, you know what, yeah, you're up to date on payments, we see your closing documents and everything, even if they wanted to foreclose on you, you have at least 3 months or so, depending where the property is located, for them to foreclose anyway. So you can go ahead and just refinance the loan out. So there's not, the risk that people talk about is a boogeyman that it really, I'm telling you, it really doesn't exist. Because when the lenders, when I say they don't give a fuck, they really don't give a fuck. Now, small banks, yes. On the small banks, you want to do a agreement for sale. So you want to do subject to, but you don't want to transfer title. Because, you know, because these small banks, they keep an eye on their notes.
Subject to, you transfer title.
Of course.
Into your name.
Yeah. Big banks, Wells Fargo, Chase, all these big banks, VA loans, you transfer because it's big banks. They do not look into their notes every day. Yeah, exactly. Oh, which one transferred?
Who's paying?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the only thing you don't want to do is to buy a subject to with, when I say absolutely zero equity, because you want your worst case scenario to be, okay, I know on this property, if Wells Fargo says I am absolutely foreclosing, I don't care that you're up to date, we need the money, I can go ahead and get a loan on it, right? Because they're not, like, they still have to go through the foreclosure process. Yeah, exactly. Even if they wanted to. Now they have to go and justify why they're foreclosing on somebody who's on time on payment as well. Because it's not illegal, it's just a breach of contract from the owner. You understand what I'm saying? So those, bro, I buy those like any day. Because in the beginning I was afraid of that as well, until Wells Fargo called me. That's it, that's the only thing they asked me, it was game over. Because I told them, bro, I took this property off foreclosure. I paid, I think he was behind like 25 grand. I paid that off, I've been paying it on time. And what do you guys want? Boom, send us your closing docs. That's the only thing they asked me. I called Michael Gross, my attorney, he sent it to them. I've never heard back from them. I still own this property today. The only ones you want to be mindful of is the small banks. Small banks, you don't. Yeah, you can still do subject to, just don't transfer title. But the other ones, bro, if you walk in with small equity, you know you can refinance or sell, or you know because you're experienced, you're gonna get a loan really fast. Bro, do not even be afraid of it. If you need help for us to help you structure the insurance and everything, bro, that's what we do all day long. As long as you set up your paperwork.
To use their same insurance.
Yeah, you don't want to change it because it's just pure logic.
Yeah, exactly.
People try to change it because they're like, oh, if they don't want the owner to be involved if somebody cut a check. Here's the issue though. When you buy in subject to, some people, they're afraid to disclose everything to the seller. We don't do that. We disclose everything. So that means the seller is still involved with us even in the back end. So for example, we educate them on the due on sale. We go, hey, if the due on sale is ever called, in our paperwork, we add in a clause that says if the seller trigger it, they owe us $50,000 in damages. They know that. I read it to them so that they know they cannot go behind us and try to do something. But let's say for out of their own fault or out of our fault, Wells Fargo find out and they want to foreclose, right? So we educate them up front how we handle it. So we tell them, hey, if that happens, if they call you, don't panic. Just call me, I know exactly what to do. I can refinance, I can sell this home, I'm walking in with this, with that, just so you know, like so that they know. So when Wells Fargo call them, they don't panic, they just call us. And if they want to buy a new home, they also have to call us, especially if they go into the old lender that they had. So we educate them up front before closing so that they were aware. So that anything in the back end, guess who they reach out to? Insurance reach out to you? Like I just got to check, we got what, 7,000 and some change?
Yeah,
we got cut on a sub 2 insurance. The owner, because we educated him this way, in the back end, they help us. They send him the check, because we hadn't had the time yet to add ourselves. Bro, he just came and cashed out the check and gave it to us. We gave him like $500. Because he knew up front, like it was not like a surprise. Oh, you guys didn't tell me about the due on sale, so it was a scam. So if you educate, and that's what we do, at least when we, so if we ever wholesale you a subject to, that means we've done all this. Plus the paperwork, doing it the right way at the closing, making sure you have your POA, making sure you have the clause that says if they trigger anything, they owe you $50,000 in damages. Obviously not messing up with the insurance, adding yourself as a second insured. Bro, that's all you need. You know, if it's a new, I don't wholesale any subject to somebody who's not capitalized or not experienced in real estate. Because if they're not capitalized, I know that 1 month of a tenant not paying, because I still want to keep my promise to the seller. So if you buy it from me, obviously the seller was trusting me. I've had a buyer once start fucking up because he didn't have the money. It was his first rental, which I didn't know. So now every month he was late, and this owner is just keep calling me, right? But even him, they haven't called it due, because you still have the same amount of, you know, from the 1st to 12th to make your payments. Now, if we buy it subject to, I typically only wholesale it to buyers that I really trust. I know they're capitalized and I know they keep their words. And we structure the paperwork for you. So all this paperwork, we put it on your name if we wholesaling it to you. The POAs and all of that, we make sure you have all of that. And then we show you how to, we work with insurance agents to structure in the back end, because they know that we bought it subject to. So if you walk in with a little bit of equity, the only thing I stay away from now is if it has absolute, when I say absolute, absolute zero equity, unless the market is good, I can go get good interest rate, asset-based loans. Yeah. At that point, I don't care. At this point, I would need at least 20-30% equity so that I can refi or something. Yeah, exactly. You understand what I'm saying? But bro, do not hesitate with those. Trust me, it's a boogeyman that don't exist that people talk about. You just need to know how to handle it, you know? Absolutely. Yeah, so we do this all day. If you ever run into them, even if it's not us, you want help structuring it?
Yeah, for sure.
I own over...
Because I reached out to Steve, and like, you know, I definitely need to...
Yeah, I own over dozens of those. I love it.
I know, like, one of my clients, she's got like 50.
Yeah. So you see what I'm saying?
I mean, she does well on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like an avenue that a lot of people that, you know, you could leave money on the table or leave an opportunity on the table. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would definitely, especially on holds. Like imagine if you had kept that at 3 point.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? Now even our flips, we do that. Instead of going and getting the full hard money. Now the problem is if you don't have the private money for the rental, then you may have to, like you cannot do subject to, and the reason because hard money lenders only want to lend on first position. But even on these, if we can, like let's say this one I'm gonna spend 75, I can convince the seller to just sell it to me subject to. I'll still keep his equity in the back end, depending on the offer I'm making him, and I'll just bring the money for the renovation. Instead of going to a hard money lender and taking all these like high fees. I just wanna take a 7, 8, or 10% private money for the reno. That's it, I just close subject to. So we do subtails like that as well, a lot. You know, the last one we just sold in Conyers, that was a subtail. We stopped the auction, we paid off the 25 they were behind on, We kept the loan in place. It was a VA loan, bro, like 2 point some change percent. Why would I go get a hard money for whatever? So I just went and raised the renovation money, which is 80 grand, from a private lender. Boom, and flipped it.
What you guys do on that one?
We made what, 30?
35, 38, something.
Yeah, somewhere around that range. We're supposed to make way more, but it went over budget. As you know, with the GCs.
Yeah, the GC.
We got scammed by the GC, but we were supposed to make 62 initially with them because we got it at 30 cents on the dollar, literally. But like, I don't have to go to these hard money lenders and all that. Now, if it needs like extensive work to where, okay, I need a hard money because they fund the reno and the purchase, then it makes sense to not do a subtail. But on this market with the rates, like if you think about your monthly payment with a hard money, if you can get private money, I'll do subtail all day long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Save 7, 8 grand.
bro, it's crazy. And then typically what we'll do with the
10
seller,
grand for-
what we'll do with the seller typically we'll say, hey, I'll give you like 3 grand more on the offer, just for you to wait for me for the 90 days or 4 months for us to renovate and let me keep paying the mortgage. And they're more than open to it. You know?
Just having the conversation.
That's it.
You know,
That's really it.
it's how you say it.
Yeah.
It's how you say it. It's not what you say. It's how you
It's how you say it,
It's
exactly.
all about that pitch. You know?
Yeah, that's what we specialize in. That one right there.
Love that.
Do it like-
You sold me on that.
Yeah, if you ever need help on the call us, man, we'll be more than happy to. Yeah.
Even if you guys bring me a good one, I'll buy.
Okay. All right, cool.